Thank you for tuning in to Tam Talk. I am pretty excited because today we have the talented, the blessed, and legendary Mr. Bebe Winans. How are you doing today, Mr. Winans?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you very much.
I am glad to hear. So, right now, it's been circulating that you are finally back in the studio creating some an amazing album. Can you tell us a little bit more about the album that you have coming out that has everybody going crazy?
Very, very excited. We just released it, and it's entitled Need You. Sometimes, you realize life really does go by fast, and I had no idea that it's been 10 years since I've released a full album, and so I'm excited to share what has been happening in my life the last 10 plus years with the music that through the music I'm releasing, just released, and it is, I can say, and I believe in what the responses have been from others, my best work. And I'm excited to share it. Really excited.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. I know for me, I'm originally from Guyana. And growing up, when I was younger, there weren't a lot of Christian artists that we could have access to. And one of the artists that at least I grew up on was you. So UNCC always blessed our hearts. So I'm excited that even though it's 10 years, you still came back and you didn't just bring, I'm coming back, but you did a fantastic job. And you incorporated some amazing artists as well. On the album, I know you have a feature, Laughter, Just Like Medicine, with Korean Soul. Can you tell me what inspired you to have this group minister with you on the album?
So excited about these guys. When I say excited, when I hear their name, I just smile. There's just something that is very, very new to me with these guys. Didn't know nothing about them. Actually was going to do this song, Laughter, Just Like a Medicine, with Boys to Men, was trying to get our schedules to out of conflict. And so I was sent by a friend the email, Instagram of these guys singing, and thought they were very talented and didn't think nothing else. And one morning, I woke up and just to my full the Korean guys, I should do this. And from that moment on, it has been just one of the best decisions I've made. These guys, beyond their talent, they love God with all their heart, and it is so exciting to see something happening for them that they never thought would happen. They just loved singing, and they loved God. They loved gospel music, and so now, with careers looking right straight at them, they are just blown away. But I'm so excited, getting ready to finish their album and do an album here for them, and then we're going to hit the road, and you'll be hearing and seeing a lot of Korean soul.
Nice. That's just beautiful. So did you go to Korea for the recording, or did you do it right here?
Videos there as soon as Seoul, Korea. What a beautiful country. And beautiful people. I run a lot. So what was funny that for me is, no matter where I am, I'm going to run, I'm going to exercise. So another friend that I met over in America, he and his wife, she's a designer, clothes designer, and he came to run with me every day. And so the first day, I'm running in Seoul, Korea, and so it's early in the morning. There's not a lot of traffic, just like it is when I'm at home. And so there was no traffic, and there was a red light, and I ran through it like I do here in America, and he ran up beside me and said, "You can't do that in Korea." I said, What do we do?" "You can't run through the red light." "Oh, okay. We will not be running through no more red lights." "You don't know. Teach me." So it's just exciting. It's exciting. I really think traveling is such a gift of education, and so this education continues to show up in my life, and I never heard it, and so I'm excited to say the least about Korean.
I know one of the things for me that I really, really loved about your album is like I felt that it was like a BB album. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
No, it does.
Yes.
It does. It does. It is some of that writing and production that you heard in the early days of Heaven and Lost Without You, and there's other songs that I wrote as well. And so I think it's some of my best writing, and I think, I've always been someone who loved mid-tempo songs, mid-grooves, and you can find that on this album.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because as I was listening to it, I was like, everybody has a signature, and I felt like it was your signature, and I didn't miss. Sometimes I feel like when artists come back, they transition so much that you don't know who they are anymore. But with your album, like I like, yes, this is Bebe Winans.
Thank you. And you know what? That says what I've always believed, even from the beginning, is that someone asked me the question, how did you stay so relevant and still so relevant? I said, because I never tried to be relevant. I've always believed in being who I am.
Amen.
And no matter who I am, I'm the same person, a little bit more mature, a little bit more wiser when I graduated from high school. And see, that was the thing in the musical. People will see, some have seen, while we were doing it in regional theaters, headed towards Broadway now, and they'll read about it in the book, Born for This, My Story of Music, that my father, told us, look, you're going to know who you are before you leave my house. So then when you leave my house and the world starts to tell you who you are, you won't believe their definition of who you are because you already know who you are.
I love that.
And so it's the same, it's just, when it comes to music, I've learned just to be me, I'm not trying to be 19. I need lyrics. I need certain grooves, and so it's exciting to see the acceptance of that.
I love it. And it kind of fits in perfectly to that missing gap where it doesn't go to just either hip hop or R&B, but it's not like really slow. So it fits into that gap that we have been missing, and I love it.
Thank you.
Truly love it. So when you were speaking to me just now, you reminded me that you have a book coming out October 15th, Born for This.
Yes. And that, I did a book after Whitney passed, the Whitney I did. And it was therapeutic when I did that book. So I learned in writing my first one to apply and allow the book to writing the book to be therapeutic for me. And so it's a different beast, if I can say that, when it comes to recording songs and writing books or whatever. It's totally different. It's you become more bold. I think you have to become more bold because this book is talking about my life, and it causes you. Some of it is on the live stage, and each time I saw the musical, sitting in the back, I was like, wow, I'm reliving my life. And so, but the book gives more detail for people to find out things that they never knew.
So I'm loving how you came back. You brought the album, Need You, and went into the book Born for This, which is just an amazing continuation of everything for us to really get to know who Bebe Winans is and understand you as an individual, because I know for years it's always been BB and CC. So it's nice to get to know, learn, and educate ourselves on who BB is as a person. And I know that your listeners, your fans are excited about what you have coming up and coming out.
Thank you. And understand that the title is so, in the beginning I said, it's not just me being born to sing. But what about me being born to be misunderstood? Born to be talked about? Born to be ridiculed? Born for all those things that come along with me singing and declaring what I declare in my song. So, it's not all easy. Some people just see what you do and think, they don't go through anything. Oh, no. Read the book. You'll see what I've been through. And still wouldn't change a thing because God has been faithful in every aspect of my life.
I believe that. I've been asked that same question. Tamika, what if you had something to change in your life, what would you change? And I would always say I live life with no regrets because I believe each part of my life, be it a struggle, molded me to the person I am today. Because if I didn't have that struggle, I wouldn't have known how strong I was to be who I am today. So I support that so much what you just said.
Exactly. And that's the joy of life. I've been blessed to become friends and family with a lot of people. And one of those people was Maya Angelou. And she said to me one time, everybody's trying to get to the top to number one. And they forget that the joy of the journey is in the struggle. She said, so enjoy the struggle. Because within the struggle, you find out who you are. Or you find out who people are. But most importantly, you find out who God is. And so enjoy those moments because that's where the magic is. That's where the education is of who you are and who you're destined to be. And so I have learned, just like Paul said it, count it all joy.
Well, you were born for this in so many ways because I think, again, it is something much needed in our generation to remember that it is not always about the likes. It is sometimes even behind the scenes what really happens that matters because that really does mold us into being either making us or breaking us. So I'm happy for that. And I know that based on what I've been reading and learning, that the book, Born for This, you're planning to take it to a special place. Can you tell me a little bit more about where you're planning to take that book? Hopefully it's somewhere special.
Well, it's coming out on the 15th. It's been a whirlwind to say the least. With the new music and still the March to Broadway of the musical Born for This and the book. And so I tell the people who work with me, I say, now y'all only can give me a certain amount of days at a time. So I know where I'm going to be up until September the 30th. Wow. And I don't know where I'm going. I'm going places, but I don't know where I'm going. You have to understand, this is God's favorite month. So on next week is my birthday, September 17th. Oh. And I will celebrate that here, simple, and then move on out to Los Angeles. Various things that are happening at the same time as the book is being released. So you can follow me on Instagram, and I'll tell you exactly where I am. And there's other formats that will be announcing the things that's happening with the book, as well as the tour and various other things.
But here's one of the things with you, Mr. Winans, is even though you have not been producing music, you have not been stagnant. You have been working really hard behind the scenes for the past 10 years, making a difference in so many things that making an impact in things that people love, because I know that you're the executive music producer for OWN's network latest scripted series, Greenleaf, and you currently host your own radio show on the Heart and Soul channel. And you're doing so much behind the scenes that is benefiting the industry in such a positive way. The question that I really wanted to ask you is how you have kept your character intact for all these years. In spite of everything, you have kept your character intact. How have you managed to do that so well?
Understanding, our foundation, my father and mother did a very good job. It's your foundation is very, very important. And the older that when I left home and started to mature and adulthood, I really realized what a gift my dad and mom gave me and my family, my siblings, and that foundation of God. Just knowing that much given to, much is required, and that it's important to strive to be what God has called you to be. None of us are perfect. I've made mistakes, and that's in the book, and there's other things, but at the same time, what I learned is that God's love covers a multitude of faults and sins, and so I don't have to stay in the ditch. I can get up just like the prodigal son, and my father's waiting for me. You have to have that knowledge, and so it's just telling those millenniums, and there's other artists that want to do what we've done and continue to do, is that you have to be faithful. So, as much as I'm behind the scenes, I'm on the stage, this and that, I have a home church I go to. I have time that I make for me and God. I'm a health, not a health junkie, but an exercise believer. So every day, Monday to Saturday, I'm running 7 miles, and I'm doing that to take care of the natural man. And then it's important to feed the spiritual man as well. And so, it's just to understand that is where you really, really put walls and rails around you and people of integrity around you to keep you on that path. And I'm so blessed to have such great family and friends that we're very honest with each other, and because of that, I keep going forward, and I'm thankful for the foundation that our parents gave us.
So it will be safe to say that you believe that accountability is necessary and important for us to grow.
Oh yes, you have to, because the books tell us there's safety in counsel. You have to be accountable to someone, and I'm just grateful to those people that He placed in my life that I'm accountable to. And I learned this: I don't live life trying to please man. I live life trying to please God. And if you please God, you're doing all right.
Man. And I know that during the process of, you getting your spiritual mind right, your mental mind right, you also started a Instagram campaign called Get It Done, which is encouraging your followers to exercise through it all. What prompted you for the Get It Done campaign? What prompted you to just, lots of times we focus on the spiritual man, but what prompted you to decide we need our physical man to be as good as our spiritual man?
Well, I tell you, when I started this journey, I was 33, actually, when I just saw myself and I said I could do something about this. And I did. And with Instagram, with the media platforms we have today, my son said, I'll put one of them over. And I said, okay, I'll take Instagram. And did not know that I would launch. It was nothing I planned. But it was just being honest, because I don't like working out. I just learned the importance of it, and I committed myself. And so I know if I can reach the place that I have reached, and I'm running 7 miles, and not a day go by and I don't, I'm committed and dedicated. I know if I can do it, then others can. And the importance of it, oh my gosh, you don't have to have high blood pressure. You don't have to have diabetes. You don't have to live life in oppression because of weight and various other things. You can do something about it. And you can do it the right way.
Yeah.
And never have to worry about that again. So when I do my checkup, my doctors laugh at me because I'm like, hey, is it time for me to come in? Because I want my report. They said, no, you was here like a week ago, okay? But I love hearing your heart rate is perfect. Your blood is perfect. Your sugar, your cholesterol, perfect. Oh, there's music in my ears. So therefore, I don't have to live in fear.
Amen.
God has not given us the spirit of fear. And so many of us are living in fear because we don't know if we're going to have a heart attack when we go to bed. We don't want to close our eyes. Because we know we're overweight. We know our high blood pressure. We know we're worrying. And so I want to, and Instagram and this honest talk that I every day do, I know it's changing people's lives. And I hear from people. And it's funny because I forget all about it. I was in Australia a couple of months ago, and this man walked up to me and said, Bebe, I got it done. And I looked at him and said, what? I get it done. Oh, wow. Over in Australia, you get it done. So it's been wonderful to see how people have responded and has started to change their lives as well. So we'll keep it going, even when we don't want to.
Yeah.
We get it done.
Well, amen. I'm glad for that. Well, I'm going to use this opportunity to brag on behalf of you because I know you seem to be extremely humble. So you have won 6 Grammys, 10 Dove Awards, 6 Stellars, 4 NAACP Awards, 3 Soul Train Awards. You are reaching like way beyond. And then you came back and you brought us the Need You album, the Born for This book, and then you're taking that to Broadway, as well as making He Promised Me to chart in the #1 Gospel Airplays. So you're doing fantastic. And then you have given us the Instagram campaign, Get It Done, as well as giving us great music on Greenleaf, the radio. My question to you is, are you limited in any area of your life? Because you seem to dominate everything that you do. And my question is, what's next? Because everything that you place your hands to do is blessed and it flourishes. So can you put your hands on me?
Say it again.
Put your hands on me so I can be blessed too.
But this is it. For me, it has always been, I've been unafraid to not know what my future holds.
Amen.
Been unafraid. I have been positive that God holds my future. I remember, and I'll share this with you, I remember when Keith and I was first signed to Capitol Records, and they were excited to have us. We were excited to be on a major label. And then they said, okay, we have different producers. I said, no, we're going to use the same producer that we did in the first album. No. We're going to have, this is big time. We have to, different producers, and understand. And I remember, long story short, looking at the president of Capitol and said, well, let me tell you this now. You don't hold my future. Keith and I are glad to be on Capitol, but we'll walk right out that door because God holds my future.
Amen.
And the man looked at me and said, you'll walk right out? That's so weird. We're going to use our same producer because that is what, that's what brought us here. So I've been unafraid to not know what tomorrow is going to offer. What I have done and always will do is be prepared. And so there's a lot to do before the door. You approach the door, there's a lot to do. I mean, a lot of times, let's just be honest, we just talked about getting it done. People, God don't judge our looks, but people do. And there's some doors that will open just because you look nice.
True.
That's the world we live in. So when the door opens, we have to be prepared to walk through that door and don't allow our health or anything else hinder us from reaching, going happening in my life,
Amen.
both personal, business-wise, and spiritual. I continue to better myself in everything that I do, and that's the best thing that I can tell you, and I can tell others that are reaching for their goals, is to educate yourself. The business side of everything, and that you understand where you're walking, and so when you get there, you're not taken advantage of because you already did the work.
So, when are you gonna write this book for specifically this topic? To, because I'm ready to read it.
I don't know if it's a book form or it's just me, speaking. I know that's that's the door that's opening that I really didn't want to go through. But God has prepared me to go through it, and so there'll be some formats and some I don't know what it's going to be or look like, but I will be speaking and going around traveling and speaking about in the book form about the book and various other things that I'm doing in life and what I've experienced.
Well, I look forward to see where you're going.
Thank you, Roz.
I'm looking forward to see what other doors that you open. I have honestly been blessed by your ministry over the years, and I'm excited to see you keep growing. And you have been an example to my ministry, and it has honestly been a pleasure speaking with you today. Before you go, do you have any tour dates coming up or anything that you would like to leave with our listeners to either about your music, about your worship, or about where you'll be?
Not yet. We're still putting together tour. I'm going to do some international things. I'm definitely going to Africa in February and various other places. And it may be a thank you farewell tour because the travel is very difficult. The travel is difficult, but we are coming. Just stay tuned. I don't have any concrete dates yet, but we are behind the scenes. We're putting that together, and we'll be announcing that real soon.
Okay, so guys, make sure you look out for the amazing book that is coming out on October 15th called Born for This by Minister Bebe Winans. It was a pleasure speaking with you today. God bless you, Bebe.
Thank you, Tamika. Thank you. A pleasure meeting you too.